Hello, yoga people. How are you today? It's Courtney with Grand Park. I'm really glad you're here to do some yoga together in community today. And today I want us to think of the yoga practice, the physical asana yoga practice, as a meditation in motion. So when we hear the word meditation, we might have an idea that meditation is only a seated thing where we close our eyes and focus on our breath. And while that can be such a beautiful practice, meditation can also take on many forms. So meditation could be going for a walk. Meditation could be really embracing yourself in a beautiful song. It can be really connecting with your body. So in my experience and how I think about meditation as a way of doing one thing to really connect to your body, to your spirit, to your heart. So we're going to be thinking about meditation like that today. Does that sound all right? All right, so let's start standing today. So grounding yourself in your mountain pose. So we'll take our feet underneath the hips underneath the shoulders, and then we'll take the palms out facing forward. Shoulders stacked over hips, hips stacked over heels, shoulders melting away from your ears. Really glue your feet to the earth. So maybe even lifting your toes, spreading them wide, and then pressing them down on the earth, grounding down into the ball of the foot, underneath your pinky mound and your heels. So no need to have your legs entirely straight. You can have a little bit of bend in your knee, shoulders rolling away from your ears, palms active and facing forward. As you inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky, maybe look up towards your hands. As you exhale, bend your knees, fold your heart, release your head. Inhale, hands to your shins, halfway lift, heart reaching away from your tailbone. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We'll pause here. I want you to notice if you even remember doing any of those things. So this is what I mean by meditation in motion. So even things that we might do a lot, it can be really healthy for our spirits, for our bodies, to be really engaged in what we're doing. So this time as you do your sun salutation, can you really be in the experience of breathing and moving and being a part of each little part of it? So fingertips come to the side. We'll do it again. Inhale, draw your arms tall. Maybe look up, maybe watch your hands touch. As you exhale, bend your knees, fold your heart, release your head. Inhale, hands to shins, reach your heart away from your tailbone, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall, fingertips touch. Exhale, draw your hands into your heart. We'll do it 2 more times, really connecting with your breath and movement. Inhale, arms go tall. Exhale, fold the body, melt your heart forward. Release your head. Inhale, hands to shins. Halfway lift, heart reaching from tailbone. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky, looking up. Exhale, pulling your hands into your heart. 1 more time, really connecting with your breath and movement. Inhale, arms draw tall. Exhale, fold your heart, release your head. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, melt your heart, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart. We'll inhale, reach your arms tall. We'll pause there. We're going to come into the side body here. So grounding down into your left foot especially. Take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. And then reaching up and over towards the left. Ground down into your right heel, your right ball of your foot. And then for this meditation in motion, we're sending breath from the right heel all the way out to the right fingertips. As you inhale, coming back to center, switching, grounding down into your left foot, grab your left wrist with your right hand, and then reaching up and over to the right. We're in a little crescent moon. The meditation is where maybe some tightness is coming. We're sending breath. We're drawing our awareness there. Big line of energy from your left heel all the way out to your left fingertips. Coming back to center. And then as we inhale, bending your elbows, sending your heart through, cactus arms. Exhale, draw your arms tall. 2 more times. Inhale, send your heart through, bending your elbows. Exhale, fingertips reach tall. Inhale, elbows bend, heart shines through. Exhale, reach your fingertips tall. Draw your hands into your heart. Find your way back to mountain pose. So palms go out, shoulders go away from ears. We're going to start to move a little bit more, breathe a little bit more. And I want you to see if you can maintain that connection with your breath, with your movement. So staying really engaged. So honoring what's happening in your body today. So maybe putting down a knee, maybe coming to child's pose, but staying really present. So not just going through the motions, being engaged in as many moments as we can. So from here, coming to the top of your mat, unless you're already there. Inhale, find your way to chair. Exhale, forward fold, melt your heart, release your head. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands go down, step back, plank. Hips to sky, downward facing dog. Right foot steps for right hand, back foot spins flat. Press into your feet, draw yourself up. Right hip reaching back. Exhale, hands tap down to earth, plank, downward facing dog. Left foot steps on your inhale, back foot spins flat, press down, rise tall. Exhale, hands come down to the earth, plank, downward facing dog. So we'll pause here. Pressing the weight forward to your knuckles, finding as much bend as the backs of the legs need right now. Heart reaching back for the thighs, hips reaching for the sky, tailbone reaching for the sky. Find your breath. Arms are really active here. If your shoulders are really tight, you can take your hands wider. That'll create more foundation and space. So from here, looking towards your hands, step your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sink your hips. We're gonna pause in our chair. So we're gonna break down all that movement. We're gonna get really engaged with each pose, seeing what's happening here. So sending your hips back, feet can be together or hips distance. Reach your heart up. Shoulders melt away from your ears, like you're sitting back in a little chair. Make sure you can see your toes. One more inhale here, and then move on your exhale. So forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward. Exhale, take your hands down to the earth, step back, plank, scooping your belly up into your spine. We'll pause here. You can also take this with knees down on earth. So fingers are spread wide. We're pressing into knuckles. We're lifting up out of shoulders. The belly's scooping up. The breath is flowing through. We're looking down at the mat between our hands. On your exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot for your right hand, back foot spins flat, so right knee is stacked over right ankle. We're at a 45-degree angle with the back foot. Right hip is hugging into the body. Press into your feet. Move yourself all the way up to warrior one on your inhale. So right hip's reaching back. Outer blade of your back foot is pressing down. Shoulders stack under wrists. Gaze is steady at a point. Notice what is happening with your breath and see if you can draw it into the experience of the pose. So can you use your breath as a support for the pose? From here, find one more full inhale. As you exhale, hands tap down to earth. Find your way plank, downward facing dog. Other side. Left foot steps for left hand, back foot spins flat to a 45. Left knee is stacked over left ankle. Left hip is hugging in and back. Press into your feet. As you inhale, come on up. So shoulders are stacked underneath your wrists. Left hip is reaching back. Outer blade of your right foot is pressing down to use the strength of both your legs to support you here. Gazing at a point, settle your shoulders away from your ears. Use your breath as a way to support you. So if you've held your breath, you probably aren't using your breath to come into the experience of this shape. On your exhale, hands come down, plank. Downward facing dog. So we'll pause here for a few breaths. You can also come into child's pose. So we're going to connect all those motions for 3 more flows. And I really want to encourage us all, if we notice that we're just kind of going through the motions, that we're not in our meditation of movement. So meditation of movement in the way I'm talking about it is connecting and being in the experience of it. So just doing the thing that you're doing. If you find yourself not doing that, come down into child's pose and just take a little regroup. All right, I'm recommitting to this, and then join us whenever you're ready. And also, if you notice that you're really tired today or that your breath is not connecting, you can also take rest in child's pose. Looking towards your hands, step your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Here we go, round 1. Inhale, chair. 1 breath, 1 movement. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps, back foot spins flat. Inhale, carries it up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. Left foot steps on your inhale, back foot spins flat, warrior 1. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths on this side, in this pose. Maybe coming into child's pose to regather your breath. We'll come into round 2. Remember, meditation and movement, being engaged in every breath and every little nuance of movement. Looking between your hands, step your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, plank, down dog. Inhale, left foot, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, plank, downward facing dog or child's pose. So regathering your breath, maybe regathering our intention to be in a place of meditation, of presence, of just doing the thing that we're doing. We're going to come into one last round or not. So you can come down into child's, you can rest, you can focus on your breath, honoring where you are, being where you are. Here we go, next final round. Look towards your hands, step your feet, being involved in every part. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, plank, down dog. Inhale, warrior one left. Exhale, hands down, plank, downward facing dog. Beautiful. So finding your breaths, maybe resting in child's pose. We're going to do 3 more strength exercises and then we'll take a rest together in child. So you're also just welcome to skip ahead to child's if that will help you feel more connected to your body and more engaged in the moment you're in. If you want to come into the strength, rolling forward to a plank, pressing into your knuckles, lifting up out of your shoulders, belly scooping to your spine. Find lots of breath here. You can also tap your knees down and stay with this lift of the shoulders, this lift of the belly. Gazing at one point between your hands. As you exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. We're going to come in 2 more times, rolling forward to a plank. We pause. We engage with the breath. We engage with our curiosity. We listen by tapping knees down at any point. We notice the breath is not breathing fully. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Last one, rolling forward to a plank, belly scoops into your spine, knees can come down, or we come down into child's pose. Whatever is going to help us engage with the moment and really be in the experience of breath and body. Exhale, hips come up and back, and then we'll all make our way into child's pose. So knees come wide, big toes come to touch, sinking your hips back for your heels, and then either extending your arms up and overhead, excuse me, or taking your hands down by your feet. Whatever you choose, choose to find breath and connect with your body. If your hips don't naturally touch your heels, you could put a pillow, a blanket, so giving your hips a place to rest. If your forehead doesn't touch the earth naturally, you could stack your fists underneath your forehead. So we want the forehead down, we want the hips down, we want the breath moving through. Option to stay and rest, always. If this is really helping you feel connected to your body and your breath, please stay. If you're feeling like movement would help you with that, find your way back to your downward facing dog. We're gonna start on the left side this time. So lifting up through your left heel, we're gonna hug the knee into the nose and then step that left foot in between your hands. Back foot spins flat to a 45, hips open towards the right. So we're in a big bend of the left hip. The left knee is tracking out, heel to arch alignment with the feet, arms extend out. Gaze is over that left middle finger. Find your way into your breath. We're gonna come for 3 movements here. So this will be our exhale. As you inhale, extend your left leg straight, arms come tall to the sky. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, arms reach tall to the sky, left leg lengthens. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend your left knee, shoulders come away from your ears. Steady your gaze. And then we'll extend that left leg straight, reach your hips back, reach your left fingertips forward, forward, forward. Left hand rests gently, lightly down on your left calf, or you can touch the earth if that keeps your heart opening towards the sky. Most of us probably will keep our hand on the shin. Right arm extends tall, and then come into the shape by meeting the shape with your breath. So maybe you look up. If that does not create breath, you can look down towards your shin or your ankle. As you inhale back to warrior 2, we'll take the left forearm to the left thigh, right arm goes tall to the sky. So finding lots of length across your heart. Maybe you look up, maybe you look down at your ankle. Find your breath either way. Come into the meditation of this pose. So being here, not being anywhere but here and in your breath. And then find your way back, warrior 2. We'll extend the left leg and then we'll face the other direction. So you'll probably be facing into the back of your space. So you can just listen to the verbal cues. So heel to arch alignment. So heel of the front foot is in the arch of the back foot. We'll sink into our right thigh. Arms extend out from the shoulders. Shoulders are coming down away from your ears. Find your way into your breath here. Gazing over your right middle finger. We'll connect our breath in movement here. So remember, we're just breathing and moving together. So this will be our exhale. As we inhale, extend your right leg. Arms go tall to sky. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale, warrior 2. We'll pause here, find your breath. And then we'll extend that right leg straight. Hips are reaching back. Right fingertips are reaching forward. Right hand comes down to your shin, your ankle, or the floor. Left arm reaches tall. So we want the heart to be moving up towards the sky. So that might mean we take the hand up a little bit on the leg. Keep your hand on the leg really light. So we're not putting any pressure. We're just resting it there. We're using the strength of our belly to twist the heart skyward. Take a position with your neck where you can be present. As you inhale back to warrior 2, As you exhale, forearm to thigh, left arm goes tall to the sky. So big sink of your right knee over your right ankle. Forearm is resting on the thigh, heart is reaching up for the ceiling. Breath is moving through. How are we doing? How's our breath? As you inhale, warrior two. As you exhale, lengthen your right leg straight. We're going to take the toes in, the heels go out. So we're coming into a forward fold. You have all kinds of options here. So some of us with a lot of bend in our knees will just start to fold the body over, releasing your head. If your hands touch, okay. If they don't, okay. If you're feeling good and open in your shoulders, this won't be for everyone. But you can find an interlace of your fingertips. You can send your interlace away and add the shoulder stretch to your forward fold. So either interlace, arms up and overhead. If that's not accessible in your body, you could also grab opposite forearm and let your shoulders come away from ears, release your head, or you can just tap your hands down or to your hips. So find a place where you can release your head, where you can breathe into the backs of your legs. Soften in your jaw, soften in your face. So we're going to come up, we're going to do it in 2 inhales, or 2 breaths, I mean. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press into your feet, come all the way up, releasing your interlace if you have your interlace. So we'll heel toe the feet back together. We'll come into our standing balance pose of the day, tree pose. I teach this pose a whole lot because I find it to be a really beautiful way to really come into the moment. So it requires a lot of focus. It requires a lot of presence. And it can take our mind out of a mind pattern because we have to focus. So hands come to your hips. We'll start on our left leg. So you're going to find something, probably not looking at the screen, maybe above it. Something that is not moving that you can steady your gaze on. The left leg is going to become the trunk of our tree. So root your left foot down. If it helps to lift your toes, spread your toes wide. Press into all mounds of your foot like it's glued to the earth. The left hip is slightly reaching back. Hands are at your hips for stability to start. And then with that grounding in your entire left leg, right foot comes like a kickstand at your left ankle. And we'll just see what happened there. So if balance is already a little wobbly, keep rooting down. You could even take your left hand to a wall for stability. Notice what happened to the breath. So did you start to constrict your breath? Can you allow the breath to be a part of this shape, to tell you that you're safe, that you can take control of this, that you can approach it with an open heart, with an open mind. Option 1, stay here or come to a wall. Option 2, foot comes to the calf. Option 3, foot comes to the inner thigh. So finding a position where you can fully breathe and be in the experience of the shape. So grounding down into your left foot. If you have your right foot on the leg, pressing the leg into the foot as much as you're pressing foot into leg. How's your breath? Can the breath be a part of this meditation? Can you really be engaged in whatever is happening? Can you be kind to yourself if you're wobbling all around? Option to grow your branches in any way if that feels like something you want to do. So there's lots of different trees in our world, so we can all have our own different version of what it looks like today. Keep grounding down into your left foot. Keep steadying your gaze on a single point. Keep allowing your breath to move through. And just being with whatever's happening. Woo. So being with the wobbles, being with the sways, being with the strength, being with the breath. As you exhale, releasing out of this side and letting that side go. So that side is done. That side is in the past. Trying not to bring it into this side. So we'll ground down into the right foot, new side, new opportunity, new breath, new opportunity. It's such a practice, right? So maybe lifting your toes, grounding down into all mounds of your right foot glues to the earth, hands come to your hips to start. If you know you're going to want to use a wall, coming over to a wall on the right side. And then before we do anything, steadying our drishti, so finding our gaze point, finding our breath moving through, committing ourselves to be really engaged on this side, being with whatever's going on, approaching it with curiosity and breath. So left foot lightens, comes at the right ankle. The left knee is tracking out to the side. And we just pause there. We notice if we started constricting breath. We notice if we need the support of a wall. We notice if we're not grounding down into our right foot. And then you have the option to stay here, or we take the foot to the calf, we take the foot to the inner thigh. Does not have to be what we did on the other side. Maybe it is. If you have the foot on the leg, pressing the leg into the foot so everything's hugging in. Right foot is grounding down. Maybe right hand is at a wall. Maybe we soften in our jaw. Maybe we bring back in the breath. So see how active and involved each moment of our life is, right? So let's not be asleep for it. Let's be engaged. Let's be in the breath. Let's see what's happening in the moment that is actually happening. Option to grow your branches in any way if that feels like a deeper expression that you want to take today. You don't have to do anything I say. All of it's just a suggestion. Being in the experience of your body in tree on your right leg. How's your breath? As you exhale, releasing out, finding your way to mountain pose. Softening your shoulders down. Feeling both feet connected to the earth. From here, we're going to come down to the mat, to the floor. We're going to do one last strength thing. So taking your feet hips distance, find your chair pose or not. So you never have to do any of this stuff. Whatever you're choosing, choose to engage in your breath in your body. From here, we're going to do a little slow sinking down to the floor. And then when we get to the floor, soles of the feet down, we're going to do a slow roll down to our back. Really beautiful, everyone. Stack your knees up over your hips. Take your hands to your kneecaps. And then we'll just make little circles with the knees. Whichever direction feels better. And then we'll switch the direction of the knees the other way. Come back to center. Arms come wide like a T. Sorry, that was hard to say. Or hands can come up by your face. Knees come up and over to the right. So just finding a spinal twist. Letting yourself take up space. Letting yourself ground down to the floor. Knees come up and over to the left. Take up space. Let your body be soft. Maybe soften your eyes closed. Coming back to center, finding happy baby. So either grabbing the outsides of the feet, keeping the low back down on the earth if that is not happening in your body. Maybe just grabbing the outsides, the backs of your thighs and gently letting your low back rest as you pull your knees up towards your shoulders. So letting the low back rest down here, letting the hips soften open. And then we'll release ourselves into a comfortable position on our back. If your low back is feeling a little tight or uncomfortable today, I'm going to recommend bending knees and resting the feet, heels underneath the knees, just to give the low back more contact with the floor. If you feel comfortable extending your legs out, you may do that as well. So I'm going to come up to the screen just to talk us through some finishing breaths. So allowing your body to rest here. So allowing your shoulders to soften, allowing your low back to rest on the earth. We're going to come into something called counting breaths. So this is a beautiful way to use the repetition of counting to bring yourself to the moment and to be in the experience of breath, which is, in my experience, the experience of presence. So I'm going to count us through 10 rounds of counting breath. All you have to do is inhale when I say inhale, exhale when I say exhale, and we will do that together in community 10 times. So probably closing your eyes if that feels safe, allowing your body to rest. Allow your exhale to come out. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 1. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 2. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 3. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 4. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 5. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 6. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 7. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 8. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 9. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 10. And then allowing the body to breathe itself as it wants. Allowing your eyes to close if they're not already. Allowing your bones, your muscles, everything to ground down. Allowing your feet and your hands to be soft. Allowing the space of your belly to come unhinged, to softly release to the sky. Allowing the space of your beautiful heart to release to the sky. Jaw is soft. Space between your eyebrows is soft. And we'll sink into just a minute here together in our final rest. So just giving yourself the space to be here engaged in active rest. Starting to bring awareness back to the way that you're breathing. Allowing the breath to fill into the home of your body, reminding you of the moment, of the connection between your body and your spirit. And then just starting to find any gentle movements in your fingers and your toes. If it would feel nice to take a big stretch, maybe extending your arms up and overhead. Eventually rolling over to your right side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. And then pressing yourself up to a seat, resting your palms down on your thighs, softening your eyes closed. And maybe just notice how you feel from a breath and movement practice. Maybe you feel a little more present, a little more engaged. This is meditation when we can come into the moment as it is, into our hearts as they are. Let's draw those hands up to that beautiful heart. Thank you so much for practicing with us here at Grand Park today. I'm really glad you were here. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in all of you. Thank you, community. I hope you enjoyed today's practice, and I will see you again very soon.